For anybody who thinks that I didn't start those whirlpools, I'm going to explain to you how to do it, or basically how not to do it, how not to run a server. So this is a linear algebra, and that's the algebraic equation for an R2 vector space, and that's what you use in PyTorch and machine learning. So that's the last component that you run through the server to never make water pipes, water spouts that kill people. So basically, after you got this math, after you understand the math of linear gradient math means like you can tensor a vector space, and a vector space is like all around you. That's a vector space. It's all tensored. It's all a tensored environment between bandwidths and hertz levels. It's all tensored by various things like vector sets, and vector sets are the bandwidth between operating electrical components. So we've got international vectors like that as well. Like we've got national vectors and international vectors. International vectors are cloud vectors, and that's what I work in. That's what I hobby in. And basically, this is like the overly simplified version of how to do it, or how not to do it. This is an educational video. So basically, you start with your computer and you mount a server. You mount a server disk file, and then you start two clouds, right? One on one port, one on another port. You mount the server on each port. On each disk file, you mount a server. So you have an equal and opposite torrent. You got 1 and 2, and then basically you've got two vectors running, and then so it sort of looks like this. Sort of looks like that. The two vectors running. That's how the vector should look in triangles, because the vector space is written in triangles, right? But I write mine in cubes. So basically, what happens is you write the node, you start the servers, you put up the clouds, and then you put in the vector math. And after you got the vector math, you start the algorithm. And after you start the algorithm, what happens is, because it's a neural algorithm, a machine learning neural algorithm, it runs through all this. I run a 2-10-10-2 neural network through PyTorch component, and basically what happens is over a long area, this turns into a quantum spring, and two quantum springs running parallel to each other turns into a quantum vacuum, and a quantum vacuum starts water spouts. So yeah, I turned my server on maybe like 48 hours ago or 62 hours ago, and I worked out that it was over Angola, but I didn't know what I was doing by running two parallel servers and then running a PyTorch algorithm through it. This is purely experimental cloud compute. And then what it did, the quantum spring ripped the quantum vacuum, and it started letting off water spouts like between Africa and Italy. It's quite interesting, but I just thought I'd mention it. If anybody says that it never happened, that shit happened, motherfucker. But right now, I still got the server open, to be quite honest. Shit, my Hyper-V's still on. See, my Minicube's still running. My Hyper-V's still on. My Docker Run Hello World's still running. My Apache Submarine's still running. I've got 2 Hello Worlds running. I just built some new Dockers. But yeah, you can do anything with quantum mechanics and cloud compute. Turn like the real world into cloud gaming. There's some linear algebra. Sorry to all the people I killed with those water spouts in Italy.